Welcome to the debate. You know, if you want cold, mathematical precision, you go to a courtroom, right?
Well, ideally, yes.
Ideally. But if you want unpredictable drama, tragic human flaws, you go to the theater. And for over a century, the World Cup has basically been our global theater.
Yeah, an incredibly messy physical theater.
Exactly. It's a physical contest governed by rules, sure, but executed and officiated by fallible, passionate humans. But stepping into the 2026 FIFA World Cup across the US, Mexico, and Canada, we're turning that theater into a courtroom.
We really are.
We're looking at the total unprecedented integration of artificial intelligence as the central engine of the tournament. And the core question we're tackling today is this: does the comprehensive use of AI in football increase fairness and elevate the sport? Or does it strip away the traditional unpredictability and, the human emotion that make it the beautiful game?
Right. I argue that this AI integration establishes undeniable fairness. It democratizes tactical brilliance for smaller nations, and crucially, it protects the physical welfare of the players.
And, I look at the exact same technological revolution and I just see the hyper-quantification of a deeply human pursuit. I argue that the relentless automated surveillance of these players erases the game's drama. It replaces instinct and passion with a sterilized, algorithmic environment. Well, let's get right to the foundation of this shift, which is the pursuit of objective truth on the pitch. Because for decades, the sport has been plagued by toxic ambiguity and historical injustices.
I wouldn't say plagued.
Oh, come on. AI is the ultimate equalizer here, because we are finally dealing in millisecond precision. We are banishing the ghost of the 1986 hand of God forever through semi-automated offside technology.
Yes, the infamous tracking system.
Right, and I want to be clear about how this actually operates, because the genius isn't just having cameras, it's the synchronization. You have a 500 hertz sensor suspended inside the official match ball that detects the exact millisecond a pass is kicked. And the AI uses that exact timestamp to freeze the feed from 12 dedicated stadium cameras.
Which are tracking 29 distinct body points on every single player, right?
Exactly. 29 body points, 50 times per second. It removes human reaction time entirely.
I mean, it is an absolute engineering marvel, I will never deny that. But you have to look at how that synchronization fundamentally alters the human experience of playing football.
In a bad way?
Yes. The exact mathematical certainty you're praising, it changes the emotional fabric of the game. Think about the psychological reality for the players on the pitch.
I think they appreciate the fairness.
But the pressure on them is now absolute and inescapable. They are heavily surveilled by an algorithm that tracks the precise angle of their wrist and the tip of their toe. Football has always included a layer of human friction, the argument, the pleading, the sheer passion of a disputed call.
But, isn't that friction just a polite word for manipulating the referee?
It's a pressure valve. When you can no longer credibly dispute a call because a machine has mapped your skeleton and generated a 3D animation of your kneecap being 2 millimeters offside.
Which is objective reality, by the way.
But you remove a vital channel of human emotion. You're essentially demanding that humans play against the perfection of a machine. And humans cannot do that naturally. They modify their behavior.
How so?
You see defenders running inside the penalty box with their arms rigidly pinned tightly behind their backs.
Well, yeah, to avoid a handball.
But they aren't doing that because it's a natural athletic posture. They're doing it because the AI doesn't understand the natural silhouette of a sprinting human. It just sees a polygon crossing a spatial threshold that might trigger a penalty. We are altering the biomechanics of the athletes to satisfy the sensors.
You're calling it an unnatural modification, but I call it liberation from ambiguity.
Liberation?
Yes. When players aren't wasting mental energy trying to, manipulate the referee, or worrying that a perfect tackle will be penalized because the ref had a bad viewing angle, they can focus entirely on athletic execution.
I don't know if that's what's actually happening on the pitch.
But look at the process. When a potential offside occurs, the AI analyzes those 29 tracked body points across all 22 outfield players and the balls simultaneously. Millions of calculations in milliseconds.
Right.
The referee gets an instant audio cue in their earpiece, offside or tight. And they do this without stopping the flow of play.
We aren't demanding they play against a machine. We're providing a flawless framework so they can just play the game.
A flawless framework creates a cautious game. The drama of human limitation is what we tune in for.
Really? We tune in for bad calls?
We tune in for the unpredictability. The players feel the weight of these automated decisions. They hesitate. They hold back their runs by a fraction of a second because they know an algorithm is waiting to penalize a millimeter of a leaning shoulder.
That's just adjusting to the rules being actually enforced.
But the organic flow, the instinct to just burst forward, is being replaced by a mechanized style of play.
Okay, but if we possess the technology to achieve perfect justice on the field, ignoring it to preserve some romantic notion of instinct doesn't make sense. I mean, we don't accept incorrect calls in tennis or cricket just for the sake of drama.
Tennis is a very different sport.
But let's follow this idea of mechanized play, because it directly ties into how AI is shifting the actual tactics of the tournament. The second major transformation is platforms like Lenovo's Football AI Pro. We aren't just automating the referees anymore. We are automating the tactical analysis.
Which is exactly where the game stops being a contest of human ingenuity and starts becoming a battle of machine learning models.
I don't see it that way at all. This system processes over 2,000 football-related metrics every second.
2,000?
Every second. It's not just counting passes or possession percentages. It is measuring incredibly complex, nuanced interactions, pressing triggers, progressive carries, the exact spatial transition dynamics between attack and defense.
It's turning the pitch into a spreadsheet.
No, it provides customized tactical models for all 48 teams. To me, this level of detailed analysis actually highlights human creativity. It objectively measures difficult skills like pass completion under extreme physical pressure and reveals the invisible genius of the players that a human scout might just miss.
Uncovering hidden talent is great, sure, but look at what happens during the actual 90 minutes of the match.
Okay.
When Lenovo's system is crunching those 2,000 metrics a second to find an underdefended zone on the left flank, the manager isn't really coaching the game anymore.
They're still making the decisions.
Are they? The system predicts which mid-game substitutions will have the greatest impact based on opponent fatigue patterns and historical data. The spontaneity of a coach's gut feeling is replaced by a tablet dictating a statistical probability. You're shifting the game from a test of human athleticism to a contest of who has the best data query.
It's like when grandmasters use a chess engine like Stockfish.
Oh, here we go. Hear me out. The AI shows you that moving the knight is statistically the best move based on millions of historical games, but the human still has to understand the board well enough to play out the rest of the game. The AI isn't kicking the ball. The players still have to execute the vision.
Wait, but football isn't a turn-based board game played in silence. It is a fluid, chaotic, physical struggle.
The tactical principles are the same.
When a grandmaster makes a move, the piece moves exactly where they want it to. In football, the AI might tell the manager to exploit a specific gap, but the ball still has to bounce on real grass in front of 80,000 screaming fans, played by humans whose adrenaline is spiking, which is why the human element isn't gone.
The problem is that managers are treating these AI suggestions as gospel. They are becoming middle managers of an algorithm. They're executing push notifications from their tactical tablets rather than trusting their experiential intuition.
But whose intuition are we really talking about? Historically, that experiential intuition belonged to managers of wealthy federations who had massive 50-person scouting networks and endless resources to analyze opponents.
That's a fair point.
Football AI Pro democratizes the sport. Smaller nations who could never afford a massive analytics department now have access to elite generative AI insights.
I agree the access is better, but
If a smaller nation with limited resources can use this technology to tactically dismantle a historical giant with a massive budget, doesn't that actually increase the emotional thrill and underdog stories that fans cherish?
it changes the definition of an underdog story. We love underdogs because they represent the triumph of human spirit, resilience, and tactical bravery over superior resources.
And now they have the tools to win.
But if a smaller nation wins because their Lenovo-powered AI processed a microscopic fatigue indicator in the opponent's left back and prompted a 72nd-minute substitution that exploited it, we aren't cheering for the triumph of the human spirit, we're cheering for software.
That's a bit cynical, don't you think?
Yes, the democratization of analytics levels the playing field, but the cost is the homogenization of tactical styles.
Wait, how does it homogenize the styles if the data is unique to each team?
Because all 48 teams are searching for the exact same mathematical optimal path to victory, generated by the same core AI architectures.
But the personnel is different.
Historically, a World Cup was a clash of cultures. You had the free-flowing, rhythmic style of South American teams clashing with the rigid defensive organization of European teams. Those styles were born from human culture.
Right.
Now, if the AI tells every team that the most statistically efficient way to score is a specific type of low cross driven into a specific zone of the penalty box, everyone starts playing the exact same way. The chaotic, clash of styles beauty vanishes into a standardized, optimized simulation of football.
The models are highly customized, though. They are trained on the specific squads, their unique playing styles, and their historical data. The AI tells each team how to maximize their unique human personnel, not how to mimic a generic perfect team.
It still flattens the cultural differences.
I disagree. But speaking of maximizing human personnel, we have to talk about the physical bodies of these athletes, because this is where the technology moves from being tactically interesting to, frankly, morally imperative.
You're talking about the biometric tracking and injury prediction.
Exactly. The AI-powered injury prediction at this tournament is revolutionary. We talked about those 29 skeletal tracking points for offside, but that data is doing double duty.
Right, the medical side.
The AI is simultaneously analyzing biomechanical stress patterns extracted from that movement. It's looking for asymmetric running gaits, like maybe a player is favoring their right leg by 2% without even realizing it.
Which is incredible to be able to see.
It is. It combines that with fatigue indicators from workload metrics. The system can predict a hamstring tear or ACL damage hours or even days before it happens. Medical staff receive real-time alerts.
I understand the medical benefits. No one wants to see a top-tier player stretchered off the pitch with a career-ending injury. But we have to look at the immense psychological weight this places on the athletes. It creates a biometric panopticon.
Wait, let's unpack biometric panopticon for a second. You make it sound like a dystopian prison.
It feels like one.
If an algorithm tells a coach that a player's ACL is highly likely to snap in the next 10 minutes based on objective biomechanical degradation, ignoring that isn't heroic. It's medical negligence, isn't it?
It becomes a panopticon because the player is no longer in control of their own physical narrative. Ground this in the reality of a match. Imagine being a striker.
Okay.
You are exhausted. It's the 88th minute of a World Cup quarterfinal, but you feel that surge of adrenaline for one last sprint. You know your body. You know you have one more run in you.
Sure.
Suddenly, your number goes up on the substitution board. Not because you are injured, not because you are playing poorly, but because an iPad on the sideline decided your stride length dropped by 4 centimeters, and your deceleration pattern indicated a 70% probability of a muscle tear.
And the data shows the iPad is usually right. The historical injury data correlated with those specific biomechanical markers proves the accuracy of these risk factors.
But at what cost to player agency? You are reducing the human body, which is capable of miraculous resilience, of pushing through pain to achieve greatness, to a fragile liability.
You're romanticizing blowing at a knee.
I'm defending their agency. You are treating players less like warriors engaged in a passionate physical struggle and more like highly depreciating mechanical assets that require preemptive maintenance.
They are assets. Very expensive, very talented ones.
Deliver a moment of magic. If you pull a player preemptively because of a workload metric, you protect their hamstring, yes, but you deny them the agency to be a hero.
I think you're severely underestimating the player's desire for longevity. And frankly, you're romanticizing playing through pain in a way that modern sports medicine finds totally unacceptable.
It's about choice.
Preserving their health allows them to play more football, to entertain the fans for years, rather than burning out at 25 because a manager trusted a warrior mentality over biomechanical science.
But
in high-stakes environments, whether it's aviation or complex surgery, we rely on early warning systems to prevent catastrophe. we should absolutely treat an elite athlete's body with that same level of predictive care.
The difference is that the goal of aviation is a safe arrival. The goal of sport is the struggle itself.
That's a very philosophical distinction.
It's the core of the issue. When players know their every physiological metric, every micro movement is being fed into a risk management model in real time, they are playing in a state of continuous surveillance. That profound anxiety fundamentally alters the joy of the game.
I think they adapt to it.
The 1,248 players at this World Cup aren't just athletes anymore. They are 3D scanned digital twins, permanently archived in a server. Their peak physical output, their vulnerabilities, their exact skeletal movements are immortalized in data. It's fascinating, but it is deeply, deeply cold.
But that same computer vision and automated tracking is exactly what allows us to discover talent that would otherwise be ignored.
The scouting algorithms?
Yes. AI, automated camera systems stream matches from smaller stadiums in developing nations without needing human operators. Performance projection models identify hidden talent from lower leagues by comparing their raw biomechanical output against elite players.
True.
We are giving visibility to players who would otherwise remain invisible because a human scout couldn't physically travel to see them play.
The scouting applications are powerful, I'll give you that. Finding a young prospect in a developing nation because their data matches the profile of a world-class midfielder is a genuine good. But again, it changes the nature of scouting.
From what?
From a subjective art of spotting potential. Spotting a player's grit, their leadership, their presence on the pitch. It changes it to a mathematical matching game. You are searching for data profiles, not people.
Well, I think we've successfully mapped out the two sides of this technological watershed. From my perspective, the total integration of AI at the 2026 World Cup brings undeniable objective justice to the sport.
That's your courtroom analogy.
Exactly. By synchronizing a 500 Hz ball sensor with 50 frames per second skeletal tracking, we have eliminated the toxic disputes and human errors that used to ruin matches. Through generative platforms, we have democratized elite tactical analysis, so smaller nations can compete on a level playing field without needing massive scouting budgets. And most importantly, through biomechanical injury prediction, we are actively protecting the physical welfare of the players. To me, AI permanently elevates the World Cup. It removes the shadows of human error and bias, allowing the true athletic brilliance of the players to shine through.
And from my perspective, the cost of that perfect precision is a loss of the game's traditional soul. Football is compelling precisely because it is human, and humans are fallible.
But they shouldn't have to be.
When you replace instinct, natural error, and unpredictability with relentless algorithmic optimization and biometric surveillance, you sterilize the environment. The players are burdened by the psychological weight of perfect surveillance, altering their natural movements to avoid triggering a machine.
A flawless machine.
The coaches are reduced to executing mathematical probabilities rather than trusting their experiential intuition. We have traded the messy, emotional, deeply human drama of the beautiful game for a perfectly executed risk-managed simulation.
Well, there is one undeniable point of convergence between us. We both agree that this tournament represents a permanent, irreversible transformation.
Oh, absolutely.
From the automated broadcast cameras to the tactical tablets on the touchline, AI is now the foundational infrastructure of global football. There is no going back to the analog era.
That is absolutely true. The technology is no longer an experiment. It is the environment itself. The pitch is a data center with grass on top.
It really is. And there is so much more to explore in the data regarding how future generations of players will respond. I mean, the Youth Academy players currently growing up fully aware of this algorithmic evaluation are going to adapt their physiological and psychological approaches to the game in ways we can't fully predict yet.
It will be fascinating to see how the next generation shapes themselves to satisfy the algorithm from day one. Will they learn to play with more freedom because the rules are clear, or will they become perfect, risk-averse athletes?
It challenges us to define what we want sports to be. So, we leave it to you, the listener, to decide. As we watch the drama unfold across North America, ask yourself, is the beautiful game enhanced by the flawless justice of the machine, or is it diminished by the loss of our unpredictable human flaws?
Yeah.
When that flawless judge finally takes the bench in our theater of dreams, do we applaud the verdict or do we mourn the loss of the drama?
A question we'll be answering for the rest of football's history.
Until next time, keep questioning the game.